Now, one of the biggest things that has been emerging within the hip hop world at the moment surrounds two of the biggest rappers in the game and where they currently stand, because recently, with none other than Drake and J. Cole, it is clear that these two have not just stopped talking at the moment because of what's going on in the rest of the genre, but that something has disrupted their friendship, because as recently, J. Cole was featured on a new song with A$AP Rocky, who's of course somebody who is fully beefing with Drake, and on a song that was produced by The Alchemist, who was of course the guy who made the beat for Kendrick Lamar's Meet the Grams. At this point, only a few months after everything went down, J. Cole isn't even trying to hide anymore that he is supporting Drake's enemies and helping them partake and promote the sentiments of why they don't like him in the first place. And now when we look at this entire situation and see the timeline of events that have transpired just in the matter of less than a year that have caused Drake and J. Cole to go from best friends who had a #1 hit together and a co-headlining tour to now bitter enemies, you'll realize that the scope of all the beef that has went down in hip-hop recently and its after effects are spanning much wider than we could have ever imagined, and are only going to continue to shake things up more and more. So now with Drake and Cole, before we can look at their fallout and why they have seemed to fully hate each other now, we have to go back in time to when their collaborative relationship came back to the forefront of the rap world after about a decade of them not doing anything together, as in 2023. Drake and J. Cole tapped back in with each other and decided to deliver people a series of moments that would seemingly highlight their greatness in a fashion that rarely ever happens, as they would be doing so together, as from Drake and Cole doing a co-headlining set at Dreamville Fest 2023, to then Cole making multiple surprise appearances during Drake's It's a Blur tour. These two were clearly closer than they have been in years, and aside from just performing together, we did get the promise that they were working on new music, as during a performance with Drake and Cole, Drake did this.
Hopefully out that I can get on, maybe I can get on out. Can I get on out? I'm gonna ask in front of a bunch of y'all. J. Cole, can we get on your album? You know, let's say less, goddammit!
So now with Drake asking to be on the fall off and then rumors emerging that these two were working on more music aside from this, the hype really started to emerge about what it would sound like to hear these two giants in hip-hop come together at this point in their careers, and now of course, all of this excitement and speculation was actualized when Drake dropped his 8th studio album, For All the Dogs, which of course featured the track First Person Shooter, and now with this record, it pretty much captured the very spirit and essence of what these two were trying to build up to all year, as they created an anthem that was celebrating their greatness and contributions to hip-hop, as they declared themselves as the best rappers of this generation, and the top two within the big three, which may be important for later. And now following this song, which ended up reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Cole's first song to top the charts, and then another collab between them titled Evil Ways, which was on Drake's Scary Hours 3. Drake and Cole were closer than two rap giants have been in what has felt like decades, but now towards the end of Cole and Drake's tour, and after Cole had already left the tour because of scheduling issues, everything would change between them on March 22nd, as when Future and Metro Boomin released We Don't Trust You, as Kendrick Lamar's Like That verse of course exploded the rap world, and specifically Drake and J. Cole directly, as what Kendrick did there was a direct response to First Person Shooter. All of a sudden, the spotlight was on Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole, as people awaited to hear how they would respond to Lamar's words, and now originally, J. Cole and Drake were seen as being on the same side, as they were both placed against Kendrick. Following when J. Cole released his Kendrick Lamar diss track 7-Minute Drill and then apologized to Kendrick only a few days after, there would be a turning point in Cole and Drake's relationship, because as the beef between Drake and Kendrick continued following Cole backing out, on both push-ups and family matters, Drake referenced J. Cole and his decision to back down out of this beef multiple times in a way that was very disparaging and showed that at the very least, Drake fundamentally didn't respect the decision Cole made in this beef, and was pretty much calling him weak for backing out, as with lyrics about him losing sleep and then praising the guy who was dissing him. Drake pretty much disregards Cole's sentiment about why he did what he did in the first place, and then uses him as a lyrical doormat for the rest of his disses, and now between this, and then looking at the end result of this beef when it was all over and done with, it seems like Drake started to resent Cole and felt a lot of disdain for him, because he felt like he dropped out of the battle they were all in and pretty much put the burden of battling Kendrick solely on his shoulders. And now seeing the way Drake has gotten so much hate for staying in the ring, yet Cole has gotten praise for what seems like backing out. From Drake's end of things, it definitely would make sense why he would be so angry at Cole and why he would hold this against him. And now while all of this would be speculation at this point if we had no further evidence of where they stood, we did end up getting more confirmation about how Drake directly feels about J. Cole, as when he rolled out his 100 Gigs website and unprivated his burner Finsta account plot twist, Drake posted a series of clues and posts that all represented things he was feeling and hinting to, which while it's pathetic for a 40-year-old man to use a fake social media account as a mood board of some sort, It did show us once again just how low Drake thinks of J. Cole, because throughout all of the strange and desperate grabs for attention Drake made on this page, he posted a meme that used to go around about J. Cole to try to diminish his reputation and make him look like an absolute clown, and now with Drake co-signing something that just makes Cole look so pathetic. Between the lyrics in his diss tracks and now this, we can see that after performances and tours where Drake hyped up J. Cole as this great and stoic figure, and now we have seen him pretty much throw him to the side and try to paint him as this sad and pathetic character, there is a clear change in Drake's demeanor towards J. Cole, and based on his rage about how Cole exited his beef and how it put him in the position where it destroyed his career pretty much, I think it's pretty clear that Drake hates J. Cole right now for all of this without a doubt, and making things even worse. During all this time, Cole has been on a sort of feature tour with Drake's biggest rivals in the rap game, because from appearing alongside Future and Metro Boomin on their track Red Leather on We Still Don't Trust You right after he backed out of the beef, to then recently appearing alongside ASAP Rocky and The Alchemist on Rocky's track Ruby Rosary, where he is literally dissing Drake. Some people have perceived the rappers Cole has been working with as of recent as him fully switching sides and going against Drake in full, and while on one hand, Cole does not seem like after making the apology he made to Kendrick that he would fight Drake's pure hatred with petty moves. At the same time, by appearing on a track with ASAP Rocky where Drake is literally being dissed, Cole did have to clear the song to get it released, which means that he did understand the message he would be sending to Drake and the rap world by doing this, and while Cole has not rapped about this situation directly yet, based on what we have seen, it is clear that at the very least, he is silently defending his name from the disrespect Drake tried to throw on it by working with rappers who he is clearly at odds with, and while at this point, Cole is not interested in a full-on lyrical one-on-one because that's clearly not his wave, and Drake has way too many active beefs between Kendrick, ASAP Rocky, Future, and many more to start another one. What's clear is that when we look at how these two went from being best friends in the industry and could not stop celebrating each other's greatness, and now we are seeing them constantly disrespect one another and do things that clearly damage the other's reputation. At this point in time, while we don't know much else, Drake and J. Cole really do hate each other, and moving forward, as Drake is still trying to win the goodwill back of anybody who is willing to listen to him with his frequent music drops, and it also seems like Cole is starting to ramp up his feature run again. We are inevitably going to find out more about this situation and what type of disdain each rapper really holds for one another, but if you ask me, when you look at this situation for what it seems like, Drake just lost all respect for Cole when he backed down from Kendrick, and because Drake literally then used Cole over and over again on his diss tracks to try and portray this pathetic figure that Drake would never be and that Cole represents, Cole definitely felt a way about this, and while he is not the type to start or follow up in an all-out beef as we have seen, no rapper, or self-respecting person for that matter, is gonna let their name get disrespected without doing something to send a message this badly. And now with all of this said, let me know, what do you think of this entire situation and who do you think is in the right? Drake, J. Cole, or do you think they both look pretty pathetic after Kendrick Lamar really engineered all of this to happen in the first place? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see how Kendrick Lamar just told us when his new album is dropping with his new song, check out the suggested video.